UNregularRadio.com.
UNregularRadio.com.
A 24/7 online stream of everything Regular Radio doesn't offer. Also without that wagging finger of corporate or Big Brother. This is Radio Unleashed. UNregularRadio.com.
And good evening, Boston. You are live on the air with Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com, your home for the best of Boston's local entertainment. I'm your host, Max Bowen.
Sarah Sparks.
And Ramel is, out and about. He'll be, back in later. But in the meantime, folks, we have an amazing show for you tonight. But before we get into that tonight, Eclectic Homebrew, Middle East Upstairs, as that's happening 8 o'clock. Some amazing bands at that one. Sarah, you just look
staring at me, and I'm like, yes, I know. I'll be there.
We'll all be there. Very Lumar, Totem, a whole bunch of other great bands.
Yeah, it's a great lineup.
It'll be an Alice Line, so come on down. It's like $12, I think, at the door. $10 if you got your tickets in advance. So go on down there, have yourself a great time. In the meantime, pregame with us. We are live from 6 to 8 p.m. If you want to give us a call, request a song, talk to our guests, it is 617-606-4122. Later on tonight, folks, we will have a live set from the one and only Little War Twins.
I love them.
Live in the studio. Before that, Ken Willinger, local Boston-based director of photography, calling in about his newest project, Exhumed. We'll be taking a call in from local composer Brendan Cooney, talking about his upcoming score for a showing of Nosferatu, the original vampire tale. No sparkling people in this one.
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm here all night, folks.
Don't quit your day job.
Oh no, damn. This is my day job. What the hell?
Oh. All right, night job.
In the meantime, though, we are going to pass things off to our first guest of the show, the founder of Boston Wing Woman, Susan Baxter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, this business is kind of putting an end to the wingman line of work.
It's a supplemental way to meet people. That's what we like to think about.
All right,
yeah.
Very cool. So why don't you tell us the outline for the business?
Sure. What we do is we go out with clients, mostly they're male. We meet them in bars, lounges, any sort of social setting, sometimes charity events, things like that, and have a drink with them first and get to know what type of woman they're looking to meet, things like that. And if they see an attractive woman across the bar or a lady that they'd like to meet, they can just tell us, hey, let's go talk to this lady. Do you mind going up to this lady? It's our job to go up to these attractive, intimidating women that the client may not normally meet otherwise, and break the ice, start the conversation, maybe with a compliment, something like that, something that women will understand about women. What salon do you go to? I'm looking for a salon in the area. Wow, this is my friend Joe. He lives in the Back Bay. Something to tie the client in. And then, we're just kind of like their friends. And if, great if that conversation picks up. And if not, then we're going to be there by his side to go to the next woman.
Very cool. I like it.
Yeah. Will you be my wing woman?
I'll take two, actually.
Yeah.
I could use the help. All right.
Yeah, it's for anyone. It's just another way to meet people. Why not? And it's so much better than online dating and all these things because
definitely
you can see these people in person. They're not 10 pounds lighter in the picture from 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Okay. More
personal.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So, how do you decide which wing woman to partner with which client?
That's a good question. I have a variety of wing women. Actually, I've hired so far. I have about 40 or so. So there's all types of clients. So I need all types of wing women. So, if a client is, a 52-year-old guy who just got divorced and he's looking to get out there on the dating scene, I'm not going to match him up with this 22-year-old clubber young girl who wants to go to a club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, personalities match better than others. Sometimes one wing woman might not match as well with one client as she would with another and things like that. So some clients like advice, some don't. So we learn that stuff too.
Are you just based in Boston?
Just Boston for now, yeah.
Okay.
Just Boston based, yes.
Okay, all right. And will you go anywhere with the customer if they want to go to like a show or a club, or do you only stay in like certain areas?
No, not really. I mean, we will go, surrounding cities, Cambridge,
Okay.
Somerville, pretty much anywhere surrounding Boston Shore. Any social setting, basically. They have to meet in public and they have to leave in public too.
Oh, okay.
In a public in a public spot.
All right. Do you ever have a problem where your wing woman, like the client actually likes the wing woman?
It hasn't actually. I get this question all the time. It hasn't happened yet, but there's terms and conditions on both sides. Actually, I have the wing woman sign something and the client sign something saying, everything is upper, classy, proper, things like that. If she feels uncomfortable at any moment, whatever, and we'll switch wing women with him if something's going on.
Okay.
So if you're at the location, you'll have 2 or 3 of you there, and then you separate?
No, it's actually just I assign the wing woman, and then they meet, and I'll text the client what the wing woman's wearing, and vice versa, and then it's one wing woman to the one client, and then they just let me know when they're done.
Okay. Now, can someone say I want a woman for 3 days straight, or is it just night to night?
It's actually an hourly service.
Okay.
However, sometimes I do deals with I call them repeat clients. I have some clients that go out twice a week. And I have one client who's kind of like my high roller client. He travels all over the place. So he hired a wing woman to go to London with him because he lives in London as well. So he wants to meet women there. She was okay with it,
Wow.
Yeah. It's whatever works.
Free trip, not so bad, right?
Exactly.
Do you need extra wing women?
Yeah, really.
I need a job.
Well, that's actually a good question. If someone wants to be a wing woman, what do they have to do?
They can just go on the site, hireabostonwingwoman.com, and there's a tab that says employment opportunities or wing woman opportunities, and they answer a question, and then they'll get an automatic response saying, can you send us some pictures and explain to us how you would go up to an intimidating woman on behalf of the client.
Carefully, in my book, definitely.
Yeah.
Slowly, carefully avoid eye contact, trying to show your fear.
Right. Yeah, it definitely takes someone with the right outgoing personality, someone who's not afraid to be rejected, because there definitely are girls who go into this and they're looking at it as a part-time job, and that's it, and then a couple times later they say, Susan, I don't think this is right for me, I don't have that ability to go up to hot, intimidating strangers and things like that, so it's not for everybody, which I understand.
Okay.
So.
How is being a wing woman different from being a wing man?
A wingman.
Let's start from the obvious.
Is right. A wingman is also there for moral support and probably advice and things like that. However, we kind of have the upper hand because there's a bunch of reasons. We make a guy look that much better when he walks into a place with an attractive woman by his side. Women are going to look at him and say, wow, this guy's got something going on. His friend is beautiful, something like that. And also, it goes the other way too. If there's a woman who's kind of nagging the client and a woman likes the client and the client's like, oh my gosh, and we can pretend that we're with the client and say, hey, this guy's with me, what are you doing? It can go both ways.
Okay.
And we know what to say to women. Like I said, we relate to women better and things like that. I mean, it's so cliche that same to the wingman and the guy go up to the girl and they try to hit on the girl. Oh, my friend wants your number. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It definitely would be more comfortable for me if a woman approached me.
Sure.
Her friend.
Yeah.
Was interested
Exactly.
Exactly.
Same sex. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The only the thing that really comes to my mind is that there may be a situation where the guy walks in, wing woman with him, and the other girls might think, okay, he's taken, and he might not even look in his way. How do you kind of avoid that problem?
There's definitely a body language, rule. You kind of want to stay at least a foot away from him. Don't put your arm around him. You want to act as though you're friends. And when they go up to other women and when they're talking to other women, it's very clear that, this is my friend. We're neighbors, we're coworkers, whatever the situation is.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
have you had any scary situations happen?
Not that I can think of. The women are told that if they're uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, they're told to leave right away and things like that. But nothing really scary. And this is why, again, they meet in public and they leave in public. And it's kind of like a blind date at first. You don't know the personality you're going to meet. You don't know any, so everything's like safe. Nothing really scary.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to take a little break here, but when we come back, more Boston Wingwoman. This is Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com. This here is Gold Star Boulevard with Congratulations Universe. You win.
Congratulations, Universe.
And silver sunsets in your hands. Razor blades, dim the lights, and draw the shades. This is not a test. This is not a test. Defying gravity, sensory overload. I surrender sevenfold. The atmosphere is caving in. Congratulations, universe, you win. Surrounding satellites that are pounding at my door, just like before. Let's go once more. Caught in this calamity, I'm defying gravity, sensory overload. I surrender sevenfold. The atmosphere is caving in. Congratulations, universe, you win. Calamity, I'm defying gravity, sensory overload. I surrender sevenfold. The atmosphere is caving in. Congratulations, universe, you win.
UNregularRadio.com.
And welcome back to Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com. I'm Sarah Sparks. We have our host, Max Bowen.
Yo.
And we want to welcome again, Susan Baxter from Hire a Boston Wingwoman. I have a question for you.
Yes.
How did you get started?
Well, I was kind of doing this for my friends. I didn't mind going up to people, going up to strangers, for my guy friends, girlfriends, and everything like that. So I did some research, and I saw that there was a company, like a wing woman company in New York, and they did so well that they branched out to Las Vegas. And I said, of all cities, I think Bostonians would need this, because they're kind of, they keep to themselves, they have their groups of friends and things like that. And you go to Chicago and all these other cities, and everybody, you go to a bar and everybody's like, oh, where are you from? Blah, 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 talking. So I figured I would bring it here and see if it works, and so that's what I did.
Fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I like that concept. I think it's great.
Thanks.
Bringing single people together.
Yes.
For love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you've been around for a little over a year, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you find the most of your clients come from? Is this mostly like, the upper crust, the more middle class, below that?
I would say probably around middle to upper.
Sure.
And some other people, you try it out, but I would say the regular repeat clients are probably more kind of like high up there.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Do you have any success stories?
Ooh.
It's been a year, so no one's been like married or anything like that. But,
That'd be fast.
I do have clients that say, I'm going on a date with this girl I met through your service, or I'm on my third date with this girl I met with one of your wing women, things like that, which is awesome.
Yes.
So that's good. I don't follow through and say, hey, how's your life? How's Bonnie doing or something? I don't follow up with them. So they could have started relationships and stuff. So
okay.
If they did, I would love for them to tell me. I could, that'd be awesome.
Exactly, definitely.
Yeah.
What is the biggest problem that guys have, which is why they come to you? When it comes to meeting women.
It's funny because all the clients are so different. Some of them don't want advice. They just say, you know what, just go up and meet the women for me. I'll take it from there. Some want us to kind of like, quote unquote, seal the deal, I guess. They say, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Can you tell this girl? So they'll want us to say, wow, this guy's really nice. You should totally hang out with him someday. Like, I know, he's really nice. And coming from a girl that his quote unquote friend, that makes him look that much better. So they may want us to do that, or just talk them up, things like that. The biggest problem is these guys are intimidating. It's intimidating for anyone to go up to a really good-looking stranger at a bar or wherever you are. So I think it's just, we're just kind of like their secret weapon. So to give them some confidence and boost that up too.
Exactly. I would think though that might be like a strike. A strike against the person, because they don't feel like confident enough to just walk up and talk. They feel like they have to use kind of someone's help to kind of break the ice, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's different for every client.
Sure.
And the other thing is, some of these guys wouldn't even be going out normally if it weren't for us. They may not even be going to these bars or lounges or things like that. So they just may want that extra vote of confidence and have someone with them when they go up to them and things like that.
Okay. So let's set the scene here. So the guy's there, wing woman there with him. Does he just like point out what girl he wants to talk to, or does the woman kind of help out? Say, she's kind of looking at you, or she looks like your type.
I think honestly, it's both ways.
Sure.
If he tells her what type he's looking for, she can definitely make some, recommendations, I guess, and say, what about this girl? She looks nice. She's pretty, let's try going up to her. Or if the client doesn't want that, he might say, let me just choose if I feel comfortable with this girl. And, if there are no women there, a lot of times they go to places where there's a lot of this, like bars on the same street, like Boylston Street or something like that. The younger clients, maybe Faneuil Hall or Fenway or something like that. So, which is really cool, because if there's not a lot of women at this bar, they can go right across the street to the next bar or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you have someone who's kind of very specific in terms of like what they're into, like they're maybe like big metalheads or what have you? Do you have trouble pairing up with someone who's kind of into that sort of stuff?
We have difficult clients. We have clients who last night someone said, one of the clients told the girls, I want someone who's way above my standards or way out of my league. He said, I'm looking for someone who's way out of my league, and he was kind of using the wing woman as, if she sees me with this wing woman, it'll work. We're guaranteed we're going to do the best we can do, but if you're going to be unrealistic with your expectations, that's not our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say hanging with someone who is that much out of your league, that's just complete, like, self-destruction there. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't work. But if they want us to go up to these women for them, we'll do our best, and that's our job. So,
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
But like they know this beforehand. Like you're like, there's no guarantees.
Yep. It's in the terms and conditions.
Yep. No
so
promises. Do what we can.
No promises. I can't guarantee that you're going to get 5 phone numbers by the end of the night. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
This guy last night actually got 2 phone numbers, so
ooh, there you
something
go.
worked.
Yeah, there you
I don't know if he's going to call them.
Maybe it's the attitude.
Yeah, we can't follow up with them, but
girls like jerks. You just said
maybe. Yeah.
Some girls do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, some girls like the bad boys. Yep.
Yeah, that's true enough. Okay. All right. I had a question. It fell on my head. It came in. It vanished completely. Okay. Actually, no. I do remember what it was.
Yeah.
Now, did you say earlier that you'll meet the client beforehand? Can I introduce him to his wingwoman?
I actually do not meet like 95% of the clients in person. I have a phone conversation with them. I don't ask them their age, but I ask them the age of the women that they're looking to meet.
Okay.
Because there might be a 50-year-old guy and he's into girls in their late 30s, early 40s, or something like that. And based on where he likes to go out, the type of places he likes to go to, and things like that, that's how I would really match him up with the right wing woman.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So a typical conversation would last how long?
Maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And, I would also recommend an event or places to go to. Some guys want to, spend $100 on a ticket to a charity event and pay for the wing woman's ticket as well. And,
wow.
They do have to pay for the, the coat check, the drinks, the cover charge, anything like that. The clients do pay for it, but,
like a date. You're paying for a date.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Sort of.
So we can talk about the place they're going to go to and things like that, and probably around 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute conversation.
Okay. Hypothetically, you have a client who's really into the theater or something like that, where it's not really a real social environment. Mm. Is there a way to kind of like work that around, or would you just say no, forget about it, try something else?
It's the bottom line is it's the client's decision where they want, within reason. It has to be a public social place. If they want to go to a very small live band or or something like that, they're going to get their money's worth out of places that have more women in it, more social scene, things like that.
Okay.
You don't want to go to like a charity dinner. Everybody's sitting down, and your only chances are the women right around you. You want to move around and things. That's why I make suggestions. But you know what? If a client says no, I'd like to go here, then it's up to him.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
All right, we are going to take one more break here. But when we come back, more Susan, more Sarah, more Max, more Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com. Here is the Autumn Hollow Band with Washing Machine.
centuries, never gonna change. Just a different scene, just a bunch of actors playing different reads. Keep the silence away from my dreams. You're my washing machine. Well, it's gone, and you learn it was never real. Well, you learned something, and at least you got a hell of a deal. It took you months and months for you to see. And countless hours of therapy, at least you broke through. As bodies fill couches, therapists read the mouths that communicate hate, demonstrate that they feel that they got a raw deal. No vacation home, just phone calls of distance, anger and resistance. Feel less like myself and more like a shell of a tax ID. Hope she'll be better than I could be when I was here. Just a tiny thought, crooked memories of the winds that sail through the centuries. Never gonna change, just a different scene, just a bunch of actors playing different reads. Keep the silence away from my dreams. You're my washing. You're my washing. You're my washing machine. You're my washing machine.
Radio Unleashed on UnregularRadio.com.
And we are back, Citywide Blackout, UnregularRadio.com. I'm your host, Max, joined by
Sarah.
and Susan Baxter, founder of Boston Wing Woman. Awkward pause.
I actually love the your slogan.
Oh, thank you.
We're better at hitting on women than you are.
Probably true, actually.
It's true.
It is true.
It probably is true. It probably is true.
You guys don't have any game.
Hey, the hell we don't.
No, you don't. I've seen it, Max. You don't have any game.
I'm Monopoly over here. You kidding me? All right. Wow, okay. Oh damn. All right. Okay. Well, we are about at the end of the first half, so I want to thank our guest, Susan Baxter, for joining us today.
Yes,
Thank you. So nice to be here.
Of course. And if folks want to learn more about you, where do they go?
They can go to our website, www.hireabostonwingwoman.com. I have a Facebook page, Hire a Boston Wingwoman, and Twitter, Boston Wingwoman, or they can call 617-947-4860.
All right, very cool. And all right, we actually have ourselves our calling guest. They're calling in right now. Hello, you are live on the air with Citywide Blackout.
Hi, this is Brendan Cooney from the Nosferatu 2011 project.
Hello, Brendan. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Well, we're doing just fine here. So, why don't you tell us about what you're doing? As I understand, you're doing your own score for Nosferatu.
Yeah. So at the Armory, which is in just about a 10-minute walk from Davis Square in Somerville, next Saturday at 8 o'clock, I have a quintet of great musicians, and we are performing this score I wrote for Nosferatu. It's a score that mixes a bunch of different grooves, musical ideas, a lot of klezmer stuff, and some gypsy things, a lot of improvisation and classical things, and sort of avant horror music devices. And this is the Somerville show is the third stop on a little mini tour we're doing this Halloween.
Very cool, man. Very cool. So how did you get involved with this?
Well, I'm originally from Philadelphia. I just moved to Boston over the summer, and I did several different silent film projects like this in Philadelphia with different groups, picking different groups each time. Did the Marco Zorro with doing sort of a flamenco style group, and I did Battleship Potemkin with some brass, and I've done some shorter films, some short silent film comedies, and it's just a fantastic vehicle for reaching new audiences with creative music. Audiences really feel they can relate to some more experimental and creative music, maybe in ways they wouldn't in a normal concert hall. And I get to make music for a much more diverse audience than I often do, doing more concert-like music. So it's been really fun doing these scores, and Nosferatu is one of the best movies to do this to because it's, for one thing, it's very timely with Halloween, and people love vampires, and people love German films from this period, and they like klezmer music, so all these great tie-ins. We get really diverse audiences and really appreciative audiences.
That's very cool, man. Now, for those out there who haven't seen Nosferatu, could you give us a bit of an overview of it?
Yeah, sure. Well, Nosferatu is one of the classics of the silent film era. It was made in 1922. 21 was released in 22, and it basically tells the story of Count Dracula. But they couldn't get the rights to the Count Dracula story from Bram Stoker's widow. So they had to change the name. So instead of using the word vampire, they used the word Nosferatu. Instead of using the name Count Dracula, they called the vampire Count Orlok. As this apparently wasn't enough to fool the estate of Bram Stoker, and his widow sued the filmmakers right after the film was released, and she won, and all the reels of the film were ordered destroyed. But of course, many of them survived and were hidden, and eventually it became sort of a cult classic, and the attempts to destroy it, I think, obviously added to the excitement and prestige of the film. It's a great film. Like a lot of silent films, modern audiences often find some of the aspects of it probably more comical than they were intended to be, because in silent films, you can't talk, so you have a lot of overacting in order to convey basic emotional things, and especially in a horror film like that, there's plenty of sort of corny overacting, but it adds to sort of that old school horror campy feel to the film. It's set in the Carpathian Mountains of Transylvania, and so that's why I chose a lot of sort of klezmer and gypsy instrumentations and musical devices, try to give the film that feel. And actually, audiences are often there's sort of two lines of the vampire myth in films. There's the vampire character, which is we often see in films, which is sort of a sophisticated, intellectual, charismatic seducer of people. And then there's the vampire, which is just sort of a strange, rat-like, creepy, semi-autistic, animal-like person who sort of spreads disease, and that the latter is what the Nosferatu film paints vampires that way. So or like he doesn't. He's not like a sort of charismatic, charming, talkative guy. He's this very creepy, almost like an animal, less like a person, and he spreads the plague, and he travels with his coffin filled with dirt, and he has this really different kind of creepy vibe than we sometimes think of vampires. So the film is often known for all the ways that the Murnau, the director, was able to evoke that super creepy vibe.
All right, very cool. And I see that you've got 4 stops for this: Philadelphia, Boston, Portland, Maine, and Salem, Mass. Halloween Town, USA.
Yeah.
Very
I'm
cool.
sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Salem, Mass. Halloween Town, USA, pretty much.
Oh yeah, the Salem show is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That town just goes totally nuts for Halloween. I was just there yesterday doing some flyering, and this will be my first time being in Salem for Halloween. Just being there last week was pretty incredible.
Oh,
Troops of school children going off to stone witches and stuff. Pretty tripped out place.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Now, Brendan, when it comes out to vampire movies, we have seen pretty much every iteration you can imagine. You have the more like action-packed movies, like Blade. You have Interview with a Vampire, which is a little more story-driven. You got Twilight. Don't know what the hell that is, but people like it. In your opinion, what are some of the better vampire movies out there?
I'm sorry, what's that? Say the last thing again?
What are some, in your opinion, what are some of the better vampire movies out there?
What are some of the better vampire movies? Well, I mean, I tell you the truth, I think Nosferatu is one of the best ones because it doesn't need to rely on any of the sort of blood and gore action to tell a good story. It's all about suspense, and actually one of the interesting things about the German films from this period was that they didn't have the budgets that the Hollywood films did in America, and so they had to convey a lot of intense psychological drama just through set design, and the camera effects. So they became like leading innovators in a lot of the camera work that we now sort of take for granted in films, like point of view perspective and things like that.
Okay.
And it was also a time when it was between the two wars, and Germans were dealing with a lot of sorts of trauma from World War I, and the films are all about a lot of the German films from this period they call German Expressionism are all about madness and despair, and so this vampire thing was part of this larger movement of people interested in these sort of spooky otherworldly things. So it has that whole psychological dimension. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
it does, yeah.
I do think it's a fantastic film.
All right, it definitely does, man. Okay. All right, Brendan. One more time, the where, the when, and the how.
Sure. Yeah, so the show is at the Armory, which is just a 10-minute walk from Davis Square. It's at 191 Highland. And we're doing that next Saturday at 8 p.m. And tickets are $10, so even cheaper than a film in the theater. And we're also doing... Yeah. I'm sorry, did I say Saturday? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I said the wrong day. Sorry, it's next Friday.
Yeah.
Next Friday, the 28th at 8 p.m. And then we're doing Salem on Sunday at 7:30 at the First Universal Society. If you go to Nosferatu2011.com, you can get all those details. We also have a Facebook page, and the www.nosferatu2011.com. You can watch a trailer of the film with some of our music, and read more of some different reviews we've had of it, and it has all the information about the screenings.
All right, cool, Brendan. And if folks want to learn more about you and your work, where do they go?
They can go to CooneyMusic.com. That's COONEY music. That's my last name, Cooney. CooneyMusic.com, and there's all sorts of videos and audio samples to albums, and links to the Nosferatu projects, other film projects. Lots of information there.
All right, Brendan. Thank you very much, man. And we'll be sure to check out the film.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day, man.
Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So, If you haven't got any plans out for Halloween, Salem, the 30th, not a really bad idea. Or you can go on Friday, the 28th, to the Armory, 8 p.m., $10. Sadly, it's actually cheaper than going to the theaters. And a lot. All right, we're going to take a music break here, folks, as the band tunes up. When we come back, Ken Willinger talk about his new project, Exhumed. This is Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com, folks. If you want to follow us, real easy. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, under the name Citywide Blackout. Don't forget citywideblackout.blogspot.com.
Where's our Mel?
He's driving, actually, because apparently the T is shut down.
Oh, I've actually read about that.
Yeah, the red line is actually down for a while. So, folks,
like
if you're got plans tonight, don't be taking the train. Walk, bus, drive, what have you. But
Good to know.
Yeah, train is out of commission for the time being, apparently.
We'll have to find some other way because we're going to the Middle East.
That's right.
To see what, Max?
To see the Eclectic Homebrew tonight, 8 p.m. $10 cover, I believe.
Yeah, it's a great lineup.
Exactly. Very Lumar, Totem, a bunch of other bands I can't quite remember.
That doesn't help when I say great lineup.
you know what? They're just so epic. They just blow my mind completely. It's a blank now.
Just come hang out with us and have fun.
Exactly. Come out, hang out, have a beer. It'll be fun.
I'll have my camera.
Exactly. She'll have her camera. I'll have my witty charm.
And a wing woman, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
to help me out, because God knows I freaking need it. In the meantime, folks, here is The Rare Characters and a whole lot more. It's Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com.
Side. But you never inconvenience yourself, and you never answer my cry for help. I'm glad you're alright, but now I'm done with your shit. In the toughest of times, when we needed you most, you were there looking out for number one. Well, now the time has come for me to cut you loose. That's that way. Don't need friends like you.
practically swimming in white wine sunshine. When you move your hand from mine, the cicada's vibrato reaches the ears of a desperado as my hands tear the grass on my anger's behalf. I have to stifle a bitter laugh. Then the sun hits your hair and the colors burst like marigolds. And then I don't care that you may never know that there's nothing like a moment with you. Buzzing from near your keys drowns out the bees humming through the trees. Even the blue-gray waters seem displeased when your smile sparkles, but not for me. My hands tear the grass on my anger's behalf. And I have to stifle a bitter laugh. Then the sun hits your hair and the colors burst like marigolds. And then I don't care that you may never know that there's nothing like a moment with you. Sky turning purple, fading into night. You leave the evening sighs. You leave my love forever untried. As my fist slams the ground, smashing the flowers I've found. Turn around to see you've heard no sound. Then the sun hits your hair and the colors burst like marigolds. And then I don't care that you may never know that there's nothing like a moment with you. That my idea of paradise is being in the other man's shoes. There's a smell in the air. It reminds one of marigolds.
Just because you're feeling low and I am here does not mean I want to be your picture perfect damsel dear who licks your wounds and asks you of your battle scars. For how could I know how they are incurred? I'm just a maiden, sadly waiting for your heart to slowly turn. But I've seen one too many warriors like you, men who wait for paint by numbers, pictures to themselves imbue. I mystery does intrigue, and singing my song above the tide you come, donning your red jacket, indicating status of a captain, master of the seas, but stranger to my creature. Of
Radio Unleashed on UNregularRadio.com.
And you are back on Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com, your home for the best of Boston's local entertainment. I'm your host, Max.
And Sarah Sparks.
And joining us over the phone is our next guest for the show. Hello, you are live on the air on Citywide Blackout.
Yeah, hey, it's Max, Ken Willinger again.
Hey, Ken. Good to hear from you again. How's it going?
All right.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Now, Ken, we're talking today about your latest project, Exhumed, which you were the DP on, correct?
That's right.
All right. So why don't we start just by telling us about the film?
The film, it's a really cool film. You know, it's black and white, which is something you don't see often these days.
Huh.
And that's what sort of attracted me to it in the first place. Well, I really wanted to work with Richard, too, because I hadn't worked with him before, and I was an admirer of the work that he'd done, and I guess he sort of liked some of the stuff I've done in the past. But when we started talking about doing this project, you know, he talked about wanting to do it in black and white, and that really intrigued me. So that's sort of how things started.
All right, very cool. Now, why is the film in black and white? Because, as you said, you really don't see that too often. I mean, in fact, I can't think of the last movie I actually saw in black and white.
Well, you know, you go back and you look at some of the classic films in history, you know, and the storytelling, you know, the black and white seems to help the storytelling in a way that color can't. You know, you have to use a little bit more imagination, I think, and you're able to tell the story in a different way by just using the tones and the lighting rather than, you know, seeing everything in full color. It makes a big difference, I think, and we tried to capture that sort of feeling with what we were doing. I went back and I looked at a lot of black and white films before I did this film. I sort of did my homework on it, and you know, I was really intrigued with how some of the DPs back in the day were able to create these really cool effects using lighting and really create these incredible moods using lighting. And I think that we were able to do that, and it really comes across in the film. I hope a lot of people come out and check it out. I think they're going to be surprised and pleasantly surprised to get a look at something that you don't get to see very often, and that's a modern-day film shot in black and white. And it's not sort of your classic horror film in that, you know, it's not one of these gore things. It's more psychological thriller horror film, and that also is something that's different from what you're seeing today. You know, mostly these days you're seeing a lot of you know, gore, and leaves very little for your imagination. In this film, you get to use that imagination, and I think it's a real treat.
Okay, Ken, and we actually get Rich on the phone as well. He called while you were talking. And Rich, hello?
Hello, those are all horrible lies.
Damn you, Ken. You may look stupid again. I'll get you for this. All right then, Rich. Why don't you set the record straight here, huh? Give us. No.
Everything you said was spot on from what I heard. Actually,
okay.
Just teasing.
Okay, Rich. Now we were talking to Ken about the fact that this film is in black and white, and it's a very different look that we really don't see too often. Could you give us a little background as to the black and white style?
Well, I mean, the reason we went with it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I read the screenplay written by Guy Benoit, and when I started reading it, I just saw it in black and white. I mean, literally, when I was, kind of pre-visualizing it, I really couldn't see the movie in color. And there was, shooting something in black and white is a very risky decision on a commercial aspect. So we were, I looked at a lot of films that had similar thematic content that were shot in color, and it just never seemed right. Okay. I just felt like it was either black and white or nothing, and I'm very grateful that the producers backed the decision to shoot it in color. Okay. I mean, shoot it in black and white because I mean there was a lot of nerves in terms of shooting something in black and white.
Okay.
But I'm grateful because I said I couldn't see the film any other way.
Okay. Now, did you lose anything by doing this in black and white? Were there any effects or shots or really anything that you couldn't do because the film was not in color?
Not that I can think of, Ken.
No, I think actually black and white enhances this film. I think if you shot this film in color, it just wouldn't be the same. It creates such an amazing effect by seeing this thing in black and white. And, I sort of agree with Richard. I just don't think it could have been done in color.
The movie has to do a lot with claustrophobia. It's about a group of people who never leave their house. They kind of have a religious-induced version of agoraphobia. They won't leave their own house. And so the black and white using shadows and contrast really adds that feeling. There's no color in the film to give you a sense of comfort, and there is something innately cinematic about black and white, I think. And it just seemed right. And I don't think we lost anything. In a lot of ways, it made some of the effects work, and there's not a lot. As Ken said, it's not a particularly bloody film. It's a very violent movie, but it's violent in a different way. There's a lot of emotional violence, but it made the effects work when there is some to be much easier. I mean, there's a lot of chocolate syrup.
We can always use more chocolate syrup in our movies. Sarah, you had a question.
No, I actually wanted to say I love black and white. I am a photographer, so I think it brings out the subject more when you shoot black and white. So I totally love the fact that you are creating this masterpiece in black and white.
Okay. And I actually have a question for you guys. Now, this film sounds like a sort of a horror film, suspense film. Would this work as well if you were doing a comedy or maybe a romantic drama?
Oh, I'd love to do a romantic comedy in black and white. To be honest, I would love to because I grew up. Guy Benoit, the writer of the film, and I are the same age. We're in our early 40s, and we talked about when we started watching movies, there wasn't the opportunity that we have now with cable television and DVDs and the internet. So you watched what was ever on. It didn't matter if the film was in black and white, and a lot of the movies I grew up watching were in black and white, and they were the black and white comedies of the 30s and 40s. I just love those movies, like Bringing Up Baby and things like that. I would love to, because I think if you look at Woody Allen's film Manhattan, it's so romantic. I mean, it's so, Manhattan filmed in black and white, there's nothing like it. It brings out all the textures in a way I don't think I could see Manhattan filmed in color.
All right. Now, this film is going to be premiering at the Orpheum Theater on November 11th. Correct?
Incorrect.
All right. Good. All right. Now, was this your first black and white film?
Ken, do you want to? Was that the first one you ever shot?
It was definitely my first black and white film, and it's something that I always had wanted to do, and the opportunity had never arisen. So, when we talked about this and the opportunity came up, I was very excited about it. Because, as a cinematographer, it's a totally different way of approaching how you make the film. I mean, lighting is totally different, black and white as opposed to color. So, you're creating effects that I don't even know how to explain it. It's just very, very different. So it was a real challenge, actually, and that's why I really went and did my homework and watched. I can't tell you how many black and white films I watched over a period of about 6 weeks preparing to film this thing. So, but yes, it's very, very different, and I was very excited to get a chance to do it.
Okay. Now, did you guys have to sort of relearn anything to shoot this film? Because obviously this is sort of a different tact for you.
I had directed back in the early '90s some, I guess what you consider experimental films in black and white, in 16 millimeter and Super 8. So I had a little experience shooting. I hadn't done it in a long time directing anything. I mean, the one thing you're thinking about in black and white that I had to kind of relearn was you only really want to light what you want the audience to see, because you want things to fall off into darkness and shadows, especially with a movie like this where it's there's a level of mystery to this movie. So a lot of times when you're lighting for color, you're kind of you're showing a lot of like a set. But in this one, be like, well, we want to see the actor and maybe the mantelpiece behind them, so you'd only light that, and let everything else fall off into darkness. And really, I mean, one of the things about the movie is, like I said, these people live indoors and they never open their windows. Their windows are always covered. So there's no natural source lighting coming in from windows. I mean, so basically they're living in a very dark place, but you don't want it to be murky. Mm-hmm. And so Ken did a brilliant job lighting this, where it's dark, it's shadowy, it's moody, but at the same time, it's incredibly vibrant.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, I don't have a whole lot of experience with black and white films. In fact, the most recent one would be The Night of the Living Dead, which definitely one of like the best horror movies of all time. And that and that movie, I found that movie was like very, very stark. It was very like bleak, and you got sort of a sense of just complete like a lack of life, really. Because of course it was The Living Dead, so it's just going to be definitely a little bit dark. But at the same time, I've seen a few black and white comedies, and those don't really seem like like bleak at all. In fact, they seem sort of the exact opposite. And despite the fact, same thing, black and white, no color.
It's all how you do it. I mean, it's all. I mean, George Romero. I mean, you can't. I mean, you look at the remake of Night of the Living Dead, and it just doesn't work in color. It's odd. I mean, it can give that very bleak, desolate look, but at the same time, it can be very romantic. I mean, it's all the skill of the director of photography.
Okay, all right.
Well, actually, we have a couple of scenes. There are a few scenes in Exhumed where we sort of try to recreate some of that glamour lighting in a couple of scenes. And I'm not going to give away anything, but we do sort of get that look a little bit, that sort of glamour 1940s movie star look. And, it is a bit of a contrast with some of the other stuff that's going on in the film. But yeah, I mean, it absolutely can be done. And some of those romantic comedies are very brightly lit. And it really is, it's really a combination of what the director wants and what the cinematographer is able to come up with, and you can really change those shades of gray into real blackness, or you can keep them relatively high. So there's a lot of leeway, working with black and white film. But I think one of the things that we had in common with Night of the Living Dead is they didn't have much of a budget when they did that. And we didn't have much of a budget when we did this.
And we only had 11 days to shoot it.
Really?
That's right, 11 days. It's not a very long time to do a full-length feature film. So we weren't really thinking you know, I mean, we were thinking of sort of in the moment about what we had to do, and we weren't really thinking sort of long term. It was like, let's crank this thing out.
So 11 days to shoot a feature-length film. I'm guessing you guys didn't sleep a whole lot doing this.
Oh, it wasn't. I didn't find it. I've been on movie shoots where you work 18-hour days, but this was, it wasn't awful. And the one thing is, I mean, we were working typically between 12 and 14-hour days, but every time Ken would set up a shot and light it, I think the entire cast and crew would see it, and it was like getting a big shot of Red Bull. And you would get really excited because you realized you were doing something so different. And I never sensed a certain, lethargic nature kind of set in. Everyone was just really excited, and, the spirit on the set was always very high, and we were, shooting in very tight quarters, and some of the rooms would get very hot, and but I never sensed a feeling like, oh my God, this is never going to end. It was like ripping a Band-Aid off. I mean, because it was done so quickly.
Sure.
But I mean, but by the time you know it, you're done shooting.
Okay. Do you usually shoot?
We had a lot of fun on this set, and one of the things, I mean, I think if we hadn't been in only one location, and the whole film takes place in one location, we wouldn't have been able to do it in that amount of time. When you have to move the whole crew, the whole set, the whole company, it just takes a lot of time. But fortunately, we were in one place, so it just made it a whole lot easier. We were able to concentrate on what we had to do. We'd move on. If we moved on, it's up to the next floor or down into the basement, but it was never like moving the whole company, 10 miles away or whatever. So I think that was one of the reasons why we were able to do it. But again, everybody was really excited about this film. They were really into it. We never had any problems at all on the set. Nothing really went wrong. It's kind of unusual, but everything just sort of clicked. And everybody was happy. I had such a great time working with Richard. It was the first time I've done it, and we sort of just we saw everything the same way. And that just made it so much easier. It was a wonderful experience.
Okay.
And I think one of the other things that really saved our bacon was the actors. A lot of them had come out of theater. So they came to the set knowing their lines inside and out. So it was never a situation where we were doing 20 takes of something. Usually by take 4, we were moving on to the next shot.
Huh.
And it was really remarkable because it's a very dialogue-heavy screenplay. And I was thinking to myself before shooting began, I'm like, man, if we end up with one actor who maybe is doesn't have their lines down solid, we're in a lot of trouble. But that never was the case.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the actors were really fantastic. I have to send out kudos to those guys. They did a fantastic job, and it's going to come across on the screen when people watch it. It's like, wow, these people are real. I mean, it's amazing. But you're going to look at these people and go, wow, this is real. It's really something.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about the cast?
Well, first, it's really an ensemble piece. So there's no real star to the movie, but heading up the cast is Debbie Rochon, who, is basically a genre legend. I mean, she's been acting since the early '80s, and she has a IMDb resume, that is about as long as about 20 normal actors. It's incredible. She's in everything, and she is just so talented and so incredibly humble. And there's Sarah Nicklin and Michael Reed, who actually are a husband and wife. They got married. They've been in, I think, 6 of my movies, and they just recently moved to L.A., and they got married, I think, during the production of our second feature together. And they are just remarkable. They're going to have a really terrific career. And then there's Michael Thurber, who is an incredibly accomplished stage actor who really just gives this incredible performance in the film. I mean, it's rare when you look at an independent film and you go, well, that's Oscar caliber acting. And Michael does it like he's doing it in his sleep. And there's Rich Trethewey, who's an incredible actor from Block Island. He's, one of the best character actors I know. Evelina Marie, who is also just moved to Los Angeles, and she has, and we always said this cast had a face for black and white. You know, they just had incredible faces. I think we're getting so used to faces that are almost indistinguishable. I call it, you know, the WB casting. You know, where everyone has kind of a generic Hollywood look. And Evelina is so exotic looking. She looks like she belongs in a 1930s movie. And, you know, there's Jonathan Thompson, who's an amazing Massachusetts actor. And I could just go on and on. I think I covered just about everyone. Nat Sylvia, Jocelyn Padella. I said there's really only 6 main roles in the whole film. And it's a very, very small cast. But they are just exceptional.
Very cool. Now, just going back a little bit. Now, you mentioned that this thing was shot in 11 days. Do you usually do your films that quickly?
No. usually they are about 25 days. So usually a little bit over double that schedule.
Okay. Wow.
But usually those are movies that have. I mean, the last film I did, Atomic Brain Invasion, was the second to last one I did, had 44 speaking parts in 50 locations. And that film was shot over the course of, I think, 30 days. Spread out, too. It was done kind of, you know, over the course of 3 months. Okay. But because of the subject matter of the script, because of the fact, as Ken mentioned, there's only one location, we felt that we could do it in 11 days. And I thought that was a good number where people wouldn't be... You know, the worst thing is when you're directing a movie or, you know, doing any job on a film, and you look out of the corner of your eye and you see someone checking their watch.
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
You know, or just not looking like they're having a good time. There's nothing quite as emotionally devastating as when you look at someone who's just sitting there like, oh, I just want this to end.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go home. I haven't seen my wife and kids in a while, you know. It's just, you start getting that kind of like combat look, you know.
Yeah.
And it was never like that. I think it just seemed like the right movie to do that for. And if it wasn't, you know, we had this exceptional crew on this movie, and it was a nice mixture of kind of people who were just starting out and experienced, you know, veterans like Ken. You know, it was really terrific. Everybody just wanted to do the best work they could.
All right, very cool, very cool. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. And one more time, when is this film going to be premiering? And if folks want to learn more about it, where do they go?
Okay, it's premiering at the Orpheum Theater in Foxborough, Massachusetts on November 11th. That's 11/11/11. There's going to be a screening at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And if they want to learn more about the movie, oh my goodness, let me go to my Facebook page. Oh, jeez. You should have all this stuff on. All right, here we go. All right, it's www.facebook.com /Exhumed the Movie.
All right, very cool. Well, guys, Rich, Ken, thank you both very much. And if folks want to learn more about your individual work, where do they go?
Well, you can go to kenwillinger.com. That's www.kenwillinger.com. Or also, I'm working with a production company. I have a partner, Steve Sherrick, and we are modernvintagemedia.com.
And I am ScorpioFilmReleasing.net.
Okay, and you guys also have a trailer up for this, correct?
Yep, that's on YouTube. You can just look up. People can do a search for Exhumed official trailer.
Okay, all right. Well, guys, thank you both very much, and best of luck on the 11th.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was Ken Willinger and Rich talking to us about the upcoming film Exhumed, which looks really cool, actually.
I know, I'm excited.
It sounds good. I dig it.
Yeah, I love black and white, so
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it.
I think we'll be checking that out.
Yeah.
I think you can expect to see, Citywide Blackout making the scene with the black and white. I wonder if we have to wear black and white.
Just go with the theme. I love it. I love it.
Paint our faces black and white.
Oh, no.
Can we do that?
That's terrible.
That's a good
I think I'm
idea.
going to give you a history lesson.
Oh, come on. I have ideas. Some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, we'll nix that one.
Ah, damn. All right, fine. All right, well, folks, we are saving the best for last.
My favorite. I'm so excited.
Exactly. In just a little while, we'll be doing a live set with the band Little War Twins.
You have to know them.
You'll want to hear this. It's gonna be absolutely epic in its awesomeness and amazingness. And in the meantime, folks, if you want to call in, give us a request, 617-606-4122. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and don't forget citywideblackout.blogspot.com. I can't do it as good as he does, though. Damn it.
Citywide Blackout. Oh, I can't even, wait, Citywide Blackout.
No.
I have to practice.
No, you know what? Ramel's just got the whole, like, Barry White flair to him.
Well, the thing is, he says he practiced in front of the mirror like 500 times
I certainly hope not. That's a little concerning.
I want to do it next week.
You want to do it next week?
All right.
You want to do it next week?
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're
You're
going to
gonna hear
practice.
my sexy voice.
I
know some of you are listening right now.
Exactly, to the wonderful, sultry voice of Sarah Sparks. Some of you are probably saying, why the hell is Max talking? We want to hear Sarah talk more.
Hello. No.
Hello
Come
out there.
with us tonight.
Hello out there. Yes, come on to us tonight. Eclectic Home Brew. Tonight, Middle East Upstairs, $10 cover. We have like 12 bands playing this, I think, something like that.
It's great.
Because they're going to have the main stage and then the side stage. So it's going to be amazing stuff. So...
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to take one more break, folks. But when we come back, Little War Twins live here in the studio. In the meantime, here is Sarah Blacker. This is Citywide Blackout on UnregularRadio.com.
They go down, but you blow my mind and paralyze me every time you're not around, not around. So please, oh please, tell me what you want from me. Said please, oh please, tell me
unregularradio.com.
And we're back. Citywide Blackout. UnregularRadio.com, folks. Now the best is now here, folks. Little War Twins, live in the studio. Enjoy.
Mother pulls, father rises. Mother pulls, father rises. Borrowed from the hook, taken lightly, slithered while they took, hounded rightly. Oh, 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 oh. Guns halted down on your wilted pillow, stark, raving mad to be stuffed, weathered fish borrowed to drown, all along the omen swallowed down. Father rises, mother pulls, father rises. Oh, 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 oh. A shipyard, praise on golden tithe and wasting precious years, on round and round and round and round. Oh, 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 oh. In the silence, ha! Build your wall in violence. We are the weavers down. Mercy, give me time. I am so Whose father rises, mother pulls, father rises. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. the colors, and I bet you'll get a different hue. Oh, so I said, shake it, valley high. It's all set. Thanks, Citywide Blackout and Unregular Radio. Whew. Cool. Oh. Two more. One more. What do you want? Focus and then hit dark? Alright. See if we're all focused.
Pulling strings on balloons, roots. Come forth wielding shield on your back, tied down to your boots. Oh, trip, push to pedal, all the old thoughts, roots. It's the bright idea. Follow me. It's the bright eyes, dear. Follow. Oh, oh, oh. Are your hands broken? Idea. Follow me. Bright eyes, dear. Follow. Oh. How do you focus? Hey!
You're all in focus.
One more? Alright. Alright, getting dark.
Those that hook will starve your soul.
Hidden neath the depths of wither, no. I'm not a panic house. Wash my windows out. Hidden dark, the depth, the maker falls out, climbs a mountain. Waiting there, the caught, the taken, who down their hearts. Temptations twisted, turned around, rooted puppets in the ground. Knees got buckled, locked and bound. Blind eyes can't be found. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Citywide Blackout, ladies and gentlemen, and UNregular Radio, and everyone that did our sound.
UnregularRadio.com.
UnregularRadio.com.
A 24/7 online stream of everything regular radio doesn't offer. Also without that wagging finger of corporate or Big Brother. This is Radio Unleashed. UnregularRadio.com.
And you are back, folks. Citywide Blackout. An absolutely amazing set. by Little War Twins, who are now joining us in studio. Guys, thank you very much. That was absolutely amazing.
I love you guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Of course. All right.
It.
So first, tell us who you are. Let's start with that.
Well, I'm Gaetana Brown.
I'm Patrick McConnell.
My name's Kimberly.
My name is Michael Rosenbaum.
And we're missing a fifth member, actually.
You are, yes.
Yes, our lap steel guitarist, Trevor Sonnen.
Excellent. All right.
You guys still sounded awesome, though.
Maybe you're trying to tell us something.
You don't need that guy. I mean, lap steel, is it really essential for the band? Come on.
It's pretty cool.
Is he listening? Uh-oh.
That would be messed up if he's listening but not here.
Yeah, actually, really cool.
If you are listening, you can call in.
Yeah, really.
617-606-4122.
You can Skype in your part.
Exactly. He's thinking, like, those sons of bitches. They're going to do without me? The lap steel? Come on.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are currently working on your first CD right now?
Yeah, we're going to be working on it's going to be kind of like a 2-disc release, but we're not exactly sure how yet. First off, we're working on like 5 songs.
So ambitious we are.
Well, it's gonna be, we want to give something to someone that is really more of an experience. So we want to give a CD with like 5 of our favorite songs, but we also want to give away more songs for free. We're just not exactly sure how many songs will be on that free download that'll come with it. So, yeah.
And you guys are doing a lot of stuff for free. You guys did a lot of shows at the Tavern. You guys did a lot of free shows there.
Tavern at the End of the World, man, in Charlestown. It's a wonderful venue, and Tom is the guy that runs it, and it's just, we've been so lucky. After our second show, we got asked to do all these free shows, and it's great because who doesn't want to go to a free show? I mean, seriously, we need to bring that back, we need...
Not a lot of bands think that way, though. If they're not getting paid, they're not going to do it. And you guys are...
Well, I mean...
kind of cool in that respect.
We don't want people to question what they're paying for.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. No question of value. It's like I spent how much on the cover? Right. This is what I listen to.
No buyer's regret, right?
Yeah.
I talked to the guys from the Grape Room in Philadelphia, and they said, what's the advantages of having a free show? And, somebody wrote down this great response, which was like, all right, you pay X amount in gas, then you pay the toll to get over the bridge, then you pay for parking, and then you pay for the cover, and then you buy one drink, and you've spent $45. And then the band's like, can you please buy a CD of mine? And they're like, yeah, right, buddy. Like,
we actually have a caller, guys.
Oh, cool.
It's not Trevor, is it?
I don't know. Yeah, hello. You're live on the air on Citywide Blackout.
Well, good, because I'm from Maine, and Gaetana is my second cousin, and I just listened to her on the website, and she's kick-ass awesome.
Yeah.
Your second fan.
Which second cousin?
Wait, who is it?
Her father's my first cousin, Kevin Brown.
Oh, all right.
Oh, she knows now.
Surprise, Gaetana, this is your life.
Ambush. Ambush live on the air.
You liked it?
Yes, I do. Your father just messaged me on Facebook, and he said, you got to listen. I listen, and you are some sweet.
Awesome.
And I wish I could come to Boston to listen to you every time.
Thank you.
Oh,
we actually have an upcoming show if you did want to come.
And when is that?
October 29th, we're having a murder mystery show at Copperfields. It's the Saturday before Halloween. And we got a ransom note. It makes me kind of nervous to talk about this.
This is true.
It's been predicted by foreseers like Nostradamus in the future that someone from each band member will die, and the audience will have to figure out who the killer is.
Ooh.
And if they do, there's pretty killer prizes. So
exactly.
So I need to move to Boston.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes, right now.
Yeah,
you need to move to Boston
right now.
Sure.
Right
I'll
now.
pack that up.
Unless you're the killer.
Right now.
Yeah, maybe you're the killer.
Yeah, I think.
The murder mystery, huh?
Exactly.
You're not really my cousin.
Sweet. Well, I just wanted to call and tell you are kick-ass. You're awesome, and I got to have one of your CDs, and I will tell your father that I actually called. Because I said she'll probably kick my butt because I did, and he goes, no, call her.
Oh, I heard that. No, we
Well, I love
appreciate
you.
it,
I love
for
you,
sure.
cuz, and I wish you nothing but the best. And I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope you just go on to the best road ahead, because your music's awesome. It's not my kind of music, but it is awesome. And I'd love to see you live.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think.
I really would. So, you all take care, and good luck to you. And I'll keep this radio on my computer now.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaetana.
All right.
Big hugs from me, Gaetana. Good luck.
Big hugs too.
She's a Slayer fan, by the way.
Wow, jeez.
That was awesome.
Metal.
Not bad.
I have to ask you about this mask. So the viewers, our listeners at home can't see the mask that he was wearing, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm a dog. Actually,
We
I'm
have a pet.
dog. I'm half cat and half dog.
I thought it was a mouse. So
my dad was a lion and my mom was a desert fox.
Do you wear that to all the shows? Or?
Yes.
All that I can. There's a show where I couldn't set it up fast enough.
It's his face. He brings it everywhere. He can't not look like that.
I have flea collars.
I have photographic evidence of that.
There's a lot of photographic evidence. I've been cited around Boston.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. I like
Well, it's important that you be what you are, man, at all times.
That's right. That's right. You be what you are, and even though we're all nuts, right?
I'm not ashamed.
It's a bonus, you know?
That's right.
It's a bonus.
That's a bonus. Well, okay, I'm going to let you go, but I just wanted to call and wish you luck, and great listening to you guys on there. You're funny, and I, like I said, I'm going to keep it on the computer.
Awesome. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Love you, Katana.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Go already.
Wow.
Hey
Awesome.
man, you know what? That's awesome.
That is very
Because,
cool.
That's what the world needs right now. We need to support each other. I feel so happy and blessed that someone just. Oh my God. Okay, well.
She was a second cousin too.
Yeah.
Even better.
That's twice today.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Well, we are coming down to the end of the show, unfortunately. Has to end sooner or later, right? So I want to thank our wonderful guests today.
Thank
Little
you
War
guys
Twins.
so much.
Thank
Citywide
you.
Blackout.
That's right. We want to thank all our guests today. Ken and Rich for Exhumed. Composer Brendan Cooney. Susan Baxter from Boston Wing Woman. Your new best friend, I think, Sarah.
I think you said her name wrong, or business wrong.
No, Boston Wing Woman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Maybe I got it wrong. Oh, maybe I'm thinking the website.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right.
I'm sorry. You can fire me now.
Yo, you're totally fired.
Thanks.
Out of a cannon.
Oh, that would actually be fun. Can we do that? Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we are out of here. Want to remind you, we'll be here every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. live on regularradio.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Don't forget
Citywideblackout.blogspot.com.
Damn.
Smooth.
We missed this, you know. You were gone for the entire show.
We're talking about you all night.
Cutting traffic.
Yeah, seriously.
Like red line's broken down. There's traffic everywhere. I don't know what's going on, honestly.
Yeah.
Citywide evacuation.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're remodeling.
At least one way. I think it's the inbound train from Central.
Yeah.
And there's thousands of people walking around. It's like a zombie movie.
Oh, nice.
It really does.
Awesome.
We're gonna
Or
be
maybe
check
it
that
is a
shit.
zombie movie.
Yeah, I know.
Crap.
Can you give me a ride to my car?
All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening. I'm Max. She's Sarah. He's Ramel.
Sometimes.
And we're little war twins.
That's right. That's right. Where do they find you guys?
Oh, everywhere. Just Google Little War Twins and you'll find some stuff. YouTube, you can get some videos of us. We have a Facebook, and we also have
Facebook.com/Little War Twins.
Like us.
That works.
Yeah.
Like us, and we will send you some music when it is recorded.
I liked you. I got it.
Yeah.
I'm fan number 73 on this.
Yes.
Yeah.